There's two main reasons. The first one is economic. This is a business. Despite how much I've mooched off these guys, they actually do have to make a profit in order to survive. And put your hand up if, or I'll put it this way. The majority of you who come to Kenny and Zuke's, you come for a certain item. Put your hand up if that item is matzo ball soup. Put your hand up if that item is tuna salad. Put your hand up if that item is pastrami. Okay. That's the same at pretty much every Jewish delicatessen around the country and around the world. The vast majority of the food they sell, the vast majority of what people go in there for, 90-some%, is pastrami, or corned beef, or pickled tongue, or roast brisket. These cured meats that the deli is known for, these sandwiches that, you know, put the delicatessen on the map. Corned beef or pastrami or tongue are the least profitable item for a Jewish delicatessen to sell. A deli owner once told me that if he sold $6,000 worth of sandwiches, corned beef sandwiches, in one night, every day for 2 weeks, he would go bankrupt. It's a very slim profit margin. You take a piece of meat and you trim some of the fat off. You take a brisket and you trim some of the fat off. You spend some time, days or up to a week or two, curing it in salt and garlic and other spices, and then you smoke it. And in that smoking process, it'll shrink down a little bit. And then you steam it. In the steaming process, it'll shrink down a little bit. And then you take it and you trim out some of the fat and the gristle, and then you slice it. And as you slice it, some scraps are going to fall off. And you put it on a plate. You put it between 2 pieces of bread. But from the time that thing was pulled off that cattle, that brisket, to the time it gets to your plate and is sliced, 50% of the weight of that gets lost. You know, some places it might be 40 if they're giving you the trimmings and all the sinew, but 50% you've lost of your product before you can even sell it. And you know, you give it to someone and you say, well, okay, here's your sandwich, it's gonna be $8. I was like, $8 for a pastrami sandwich when I was a kid? It cost $0.25. And so there's a resistance. And then of course you add in all the other reasons why restaurants have trouble, the rising cost of labor, the rising cost of rents. If it's a kosher delicatessen, they have to pay some 20 to 30 to 40% supervision costs for every product, and actually pay someone to supervise you know, how that meat is made. And that's something that they're going to try to pass on to the customers, but customers are resistant because this is once food that was very cheap, and so people always expect it to be. So while another restaurant down the street, Clyde Comet or whatever, can sell their salumi in, you know, 6 thin little slices for $10, and they'll sell you a bottle of wine with 100% markup. Who here has gone into a delicatessen and had a beer, but besides tonight, who here comes into Kenny and Zuke's and orders an alcoholic beverage most times? And this is a Gentile crowd, so I'm quite impressed, right? Jewish delicatessens do not sell a lot of alcohol, and alcohol is where most restaurants make the majority of their money. So you're taking away these big profit things, and that's what makes it very difficult. They also tend to be mom and pop places. They also tend to be places where the owners, Kenny and Zuke, Nick, oh, right, are there, are present, and they're not big chains like the Cheesecake Factory or Bennigan's or any of these sort of places, and there's not a lot of successful deli chains that are out there, so they can't leverage that economy of scale. So those are the economic reasons, and it's difficult. There's obviously more of them in the book, which you can read and purchase.